What's going on, y'all? I want to give you an overview of the Waves H EQ. This is an EQ I got a couple months ago on sale from Waves, and since I've been using it, it's become my go-to mastering EQ. So this is a track called 21 from an artist named Kale that I mastered a couple months ago, and you see, during my mastering, I use a lot of Waves plugins, and you can see I'm using the Wave Center, H Comp, HEQ, Vitamin, the S1, and the L2 on the end. But for this, we're going to focus on the HEQ, which is the hybrid EQ, which falls in line with their H comp and H delay. However, you can see that the UI for the HEQ is totally different than what we got on the HQ and the H delay. It's a really unique EQ once you get to learn it and realize what all it can do. Let's quickly go over the controls. You've got your high pass, low frequency, low mid, high frequency, and then a low pass at the top. So you got a lot of bands here. Of course, you've got Q, and your gain control is here on the bottom. It's color coded with these knobs. You've got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 different emulations that you can use. And as you see, as I get into this, all of these are different and unique, and you can get a really broad boost with this, which is why I like it for mastering. Let me play you a quick example of what I've got here, and then we'll finish doing the overview. So I'm going to take the HEQ out, and I'll play a little bit of this track, and then I'll bring the HEQ in so you can hear what it's doing. Just to quickly tell you what I'm doing, I'm boosting some low end, and I'm boosting just a few dB in the high mids and up top on the high. All right, here we go.
My stock is steady rising. I'm gonna keep grinding. My star is shining bright. So come aboard with me. We gon' make history. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. Show you. Yeah.
Chasing dreams day to day, I'm steady pacing it. My fate, I'm facing it. When I was born, I was chose with the gift in me. It's like when before you start writing history.
As you can hear with the HEQ, it really opens up the mix. And as you can see, we've got a analyzer here. This is, I don't know if I have another plugin that does this, but this shows you the input and the output, so you can see visually the difference of what you're doing with the EQ curve. I've got the HEQ in. I'm gonna play it back just a little bit and watch as you can see the difference between the yellow is the input and the blue is the output. So the difference between those two is the difference between my input signal, and then the output signal is what's being EQ'd. So for example, I'm boosting 6 dB on the low end, so you'll see a nice separation between the yellow and the blue, showing the difference in the input signal not being EQ'd and the output signal being EQ'd.
My stock is steady rising. I'm gonna keep grinding. My star is shining bright. So come aboard with me.
So that's really handy. You've also got options on the analyzer for a peak hold. I'll play that, and what that'll do is that will hold, it'll hold the peak of that frequency of the signal. Let's look at that real quick.
My stock is steady rising. I'm gonna keep grinding. My star is shining bright. So come aboard with me.
So you can see the part that's still staying there. That is the loudest peak that frequency hit. they are going through the EQ. And we also got an option to freeze it at a certain point. Above that, you got the piano, and what the piano does is allow you to select frequencies by notes. So that's really unique and handy. Finishing up just the overview, in the analog section, you can choose the same, well, not the same 7. We got, what, 5 here? Yeah, 5 different emulations that you can go through. And as I turn the analog level up, let's turn it all the way up to 200. You'll see that each one of these, it just introduces different frequencies of noise. Let's move this out the way a little bit. Where you can see this one is got a 50 hertz bump there. US Modern, that's a little quieter, though. With that down to 0, you won't get any noise from that, but you can still have your total harmonic distortion, which is at the bottom here. Let's take a look at some of the curves. Oh, also, mention this also, you can switch it to mid-side mode, which allows you to process the middle and the sides, which is really great for mastering use. I use mid-side a lot when I'm doing mastering. So let's take a look at these curves and show you why they're so broad and why I really like them. I'm just going to switch to a setup B here. So we got a fully reset EQ here. Going over also some of the controls, let's boost here. If you hold Control, you can lock in your gain and move your gain up and down. And moving left and right won't do anything because you've got the gain locked. And this pretty much works with most Waves EQs. Holding Option will adjust your Q. And you can see even with this US Vintage with my Q all the way to the right, still got a pretty wide Q. And if you hold Command, you can cycle through the different types. So let's do that quickly. Let's go to the first one, US Vintage. So you can see we got a pretty wide Q here, and as I tighten it, it's still pretty wide. So this is a really broad EQ. Some of these emulations here, the Vintage one, that's extremely wide. It's covering pretty much half of the frequency here. Vintage 2 is tighter. US Modern, UK Modern, that's really wide as well. And the digital one, now this is this reminds me of the Renaissance EQ. You can see with it fully clockwise to the right, we've got a dip here on the left side, and if I move the Q to the left, it shifts that dip to the right side. So you can get some really interesting curves with the digital 1, and the digital 2 is the one that'll get the sharpest. So as I cycle through these again, with it all the way to the right for the sharpest Q, notice how that is the sharpest Q you can get with this EQ. So those are the 7 different emulations there. They all have different width of the Q with them. And like I said, if you want to do anything surgical, I'd recommend using the digital 2 because it is the sharpest one. But this is really, for the most part, a broad stroke EQ, really wide Qs where you can cover a lot of ground with the band. A few more controls you have as well. Under the mode where I mentioned you can switch between stereo and mid-side. With stereo, if you have that selected, you can link left and right, which you want to use if you're using it in stereo. However, you can unlink them and you can, say, boost your left side, and on the right side you can cut. So that unlinks the left and right channels where you can EQ the left and the right side independently. On the mid-side mode, let me set that back. With mid-side, you have the option to audition or listen to the middle or the side. So if you want to hear just what's in the middle, you can do that. If you want to hear just what's on the sides, you can do that. Let's do that real quick. So this is, let me take that off. So we're listening to the mid side, and then we'll flip between listening to the middle and the sides here.
My stock is steady rising. I'm gonna keep grinding.
Again, something really handy to have in mastering. Some things work in mid-side mode, but they don't let you listen to the mid and the side soloed like that. So that's a really cool feature on this EQ. That's it. That is, and that's the overview of the Waves HEQ. I don't know many or any plugin that does, especially with the piano part, being able to choose frequency by note. So kudos to Waves for this one. This is really unique. So many plugins that are coming out seem to emulate the same things, and we're kind of going over the same plugins and gear over and over. But the Waves HEQ is something really unique and special. All right, I'll catch y'all next time.